guys. Okay, so we're going to begin lying on the back. I'm just going to be using a blanket out of any of the prompts. If you want to have a blanket available, feel free to grab that. I'm going to begin lying on the back. Placing our hands on the belly, knees bent. Just find a nice soft ujjayi. And feel how the belly floats up on the inhale and down on the exhale. And then we're going to focus a little bit more on the exhale. And at the end or at the bottom of each exhale, see if you could take a little moment here to draw the lower belly towards the spine and the low back towards the floor. And then pause it for a moment and just feel that. And then breathe in. Exhale. Navel towards spine, low back towards the floor, pause. Release, inhale. I'm going to repeat that 2 more times. Exhale. Belly towards the spine, low back towards the floor. Hold. Inhale, release. 1 more. Exhale. At the bottom of the exhale, a little pause, low back towards the floor, belly towards the spine. And then release. And then just take a few moments here to draw the lower belly in, draw the lower back towards the floor as we bring the knees in and raise the arms. So the knees are about 90 degrees, arms are reaching towards the ceiling. And then we're just going to make some circles with the wrists and the ankles. Just warming up some of the joints here. Maintaining a nice soft ujjayi. If you're not familiar with ujjayi, then just use a nice soft breath. Smooth. And if anything doesn't feel right to you, please stop at any time. Remember, this is your practice. Going the other way with the circles. And then I'm going to bend the knees, taking the knees and feet together, bringing the hands onto the shoulders, bending the elbows, and making some nice big circles with the elbows and the knees so that we're getting the shoulders and the hips warmed up a bit. Try to keep that engagement of the lower belly, drawing in, and then going the other way. Then releasing, we're going to cross the ankles and roll forward up to sitting and then into a kneeling position. Now I like to use a blanket underneath the knees to keep them a little bit more comfortable, but you don't have to, but this is optional. Of course, you can fold up your mat too to create a crease in order to give you some more padding under your knees if you don't have a blanket available. So hands and knees. And then inhaling, we're going to lift the sit bones, arching the spine, and see if you can feel the back body wake up to create this arch in the spine. And then exhale as we curl the tailbone under and around the spine, and see if you can feel the abdominals wake up to create the rounding of the spine. Inhale, engaging the back body. Exhaling, engaging the front body. Inhale, arching. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, arching. Exhale, round. And inhale, coming to a neutral spine. Taking the feet together, we're just going to make some circles with the hips. And the next time you come forward, going the other way. And coming back to hands and knees. Taking the right foot back so the toes are on the floor. Press out to the heel. Draw the lower belly in. Nice long spine, and then raising the right arm. Right leg so the heel is about hip high. And keep the lower belly drawing in, try to keep the hips level. Now if you like, you can keep both hands on the floor, or you can come onto the fingertips, or extend the left arm forward like you're trying to shake somebody's hand. Looking down, keeping the back of the neck long. And then exhale, lowering the left hand, and take the right foot across behind you. And looking over the left shoulder towards the right foot. And then exhale, take the right foot back to where it was, with the foot on the floor. I'm going to rotate the right heel in and down. Now you can take your left foot out like a kickstand to the left a little bit for some support here, so make it a little bit easier for balance. Take the left hand slightly forward of the shoulder, press down into the hand, lift up out of the shoulder, draw the lower belly in. And then rotating the upper left arm to the left as you rotate the belly and rib cage to the right, and I feel like raising the right arm. Breathing deeply, pushing the floor away from you. Now either keeping that left foot out to the side a little bit as a kickstand, or you can point the left foot straight back towards the right foot, or towards the back of your mat. And then exhale as we release. Coming into hands and knees, and walking the hands forward for a happy puppy. Then exhale, coming back to child's pose. Reaching forward through the arms up. Get a little stretch for the shoulders. And then exhale, coming back to hands and knees. I'm going to do that little sequence on the other side. So bringing the left foot back, curl the toes under, press out to the heel, draw the lower belly in. Try to keep the hands pressing into the floor so your upper body is level, and then inhale, raising the left foot, keeping it about heel in line with the hip, about hip high. Keep drawing the belly in, stabilizing the pelvis there. And if you like, either coming onto your right fingertips or bringing your right hand forward like you're shaking somebody's hand. And breathe. Exhale, lowering the right hand, and then taking the left foot across behind you and looking over the right shoulder, getting a little side stretch. And then exhale, bringing that left foot back to where it was on the floor behind you. The right foot can go out to the right a little bit for a kickstand. Rotate the left heel in and down. Take the right hand slightly forward of the shoulder. Press down into the hand, lift up out of the shoulder, draw the lower belly in, and then rotating the belly and the rib cage to the left and raising the left arm. If you like, you can take the right foot so it's pointing straight back. Keep pushing the floor away from you though, so we're trying to strengthen the side body here. Exhale as we release. Bring both knees down, so hands and knees, taking the hands forward for happy puppy. And then drawing the hips back towards the heels for child's pose with the arms extended. And walk your right hand, or take your right hand over to the right, and then take your left hand stacking over the right hand, and draw your left hip back and down, little side stretch. You might feel and then changing sides, we're going to take the left hand over to the left and stack the right hand over the left. Draw that right hip back and down. Try to keep the upper body level. And then exhale, bringing both hands forward again. And then coming onto our belly. Now, If you like, you could keep the blanket underneath the pelvis on the mat, or you can just move that to the side. So bringing the arms down by the sides, palms facing down. Press the tops of the feet into the floor to lift the kneecaps, draw the lower belly in. And on your next inhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Reach the arms back as you reach your heart forward. And breathe. Now, if you like, you can also draw the legs towards one another and lifting the legs. Be sure to maintain the breath. And exhale as we lower back down, stacking the hands, let the forehead rest on the hands. Feel like you could bend the knees and then windshield wiper the knees side to side. And then coming onto hands, lowering the feet back down and coming onto your forearms. So the forearms are parallel. We're going to come into Sphinx pose. So this isn't necessarily one of the core poses that I included in the program, but it works nicely with the forearm plank. So I want to draw the elbows back, press the forearms down, and feel the elbows reach back, like you're pushing, like as if you're trying to drag yourself forward. Okay, so the elbows aren't really moving. We're just energetically pressing the forearms and the hands down, and at the same time, feel like we're dragging them back as we draw the shoulder blades towards one another, reach the heart forward, and press the tops of the feet into the floor again, lifting the kneecaps. Breathing deeply. Sphinx pose. And then exhale, we're going to slowly release that bit. And we're going to take this into a forearm plank. So press down into the forearms and draw them energetically towards one another, like you're hugging your center line. Draw the lower belly in and start to lift the rib cage, starting from the top of the ribs, working your way down. Start to kind of peel them away from the floor until you lift the hips and you're on the knees. Breathing deeply. And then exhale, slowly bringing the hips back down, coming back into your Sphinx pose for a moment. So shoulder blades move towards one another, reach the heart forward, legs active. And then again, we're going to exhale, kind of peel the rib cage away from the floor, lifting the hips. If you like, you can also lift the knees, pulling the toes under and lifting the knees. If not, just stay on the knees. Come out if you like. If you need to come down, feel free to do that. It's a lot on the shoulders, so be honest and be kind to yourself. And then exhale, lower the knees if they're lifted, lower the hips, and lower all the way down, stacking the hands one on top of another, and let your head rest on the hands. And again, bending the knees, and windshield wiper the knees feet side to side. And then making our way back onto hands and knees, and into a seated position, sitting on the heels. Inhale, raising the left arm, reach up, exhale, nice little side stretch to the right. Inhaling up, raise the right arm, exhale, a little side stretch to the left. Inhaling back up, and then exhale, rotate. Use your core, use your belly and your core to rotate your belly and rib cage to the right. A little bit of a side rotation. You can have your left hand on the outside of the right knee, right hand behind you. And then exhale the other side again. Use your core if you can. Feel it working almost like a steering wheel, rotating the torso, torso left. Keeping the spine nice and long. And then exhale, releasing that rotation. Okay, so now we're going to come onto a seated position with the legs in front of us. Taking the hands behind the thighs, glue the legs together. Roll the shoulders back and down, lifting the chest a bit. Then we're going to lean back a little bit. And then if you like, you can keep both feet on the floor and just work this, lift the heels but keeping the toes on the floor and just working this for a moment just to get kind of the core engaged. Otherwise, if you feel up to it, you can raise the right foot to about either knee high or extend it straight. If you like, you can bring the arms forward or just keep both hands behind the thighs to help kind of pull you forward. If you feel your boat sinking when you bring your arms forward, then bring your hands behind the thighs and pull a little bit to bring you up. Okay, breathing deeply. So this is really going to work the quadricep and the hip flexor, which attaches the upper body to the lower body. So that the hip flexors connect the rib cage, the lower spine and to the femur, to the thigh. And then exhale, release. And changing sides. So it's almost like a bridge between the upper and lower body, the hip flexors. And breathe. Release at any time if you want. And exhale as we release. Crossing the knees, crossing the ankles, and just maybe coming forward a little bit. Little stretch for the hips. And then coming back up. And then making our way onto our back. With the knees bent and the feet hips width apart. Arms down by the sides. And then inhale, draw the lower belly towards the floor, lifting the tailbone just a little bit, and lead with the tailbone. Bringing the pelvis up for bridge. And if you like, you can keep your arms down by the sides, or you can wiggle your shoulder blades towards one another, interlacing the fingers. Try not to flatten the back of the neck. It's a little bit of a natural curve there. Expanding the front of the chest. And then exhale, releasing the hands if they're clasped and slowly coming down. Take your time, one vertebra at a time. And straightening the left leg. I'm going to come into a knee down twist. Rotating onto the average of the left hip and taking the right knee across to the left and the right arm out to the right. Then inhale, coming back to center. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Knee down twist, so straightening the right leg, bending the left knee, coming onto the average of the right hip, and drawing the left leg across. Lovingly guide it with the right hand if you like. We're not yanking or pulling, just gently guide. And then exhale, inhale, come back to center. Taking both feet to the floor, adjusting the hips, you have a nice neutral spine, neutral pelvis. And if you like, you could bring your knees in towards the chest and just rock side to side. Or you could take happy baby. And then releasing, taking the feet back down and coming into relaxation pose for a few moments, just taking rest. Effort in the breath. And feel free to stay here longer if you like. Otherwise, beginning to wiggle the fingers and the toes. And in fact, when you do have time, it is strongly advised that you take a longer Shavasana. And then inhale, raising the arms, reaching through the legs, and make yourself as long as you can. And exhale, bringing the knees in, giving them a gentle hug and swaying side to side. And then coming onto your right side. Resting here for a moment. And then slowly coming up to a seated position. With the hands in front of the heart. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be blessed with good health. May you have ease of well-being. May you have peace and happiness that is unbound by circumstance. Namaste.